I'm Mike Clerk, and I thought I'd make a wee video. Essentially, showing a wee bit, not really behind the scenes, but more talking about what I think's essential for anybody trying to make a project studio in their house. So I'll show you kind of what I'm up to, what I use, and what I think about it. I'll cover important stuff which I think sound diffusion, which is really, really important for when you're recording stuff at home. 2, I'll look at sound reflection. Included in that, I'll do a review of some panels that the guys for AudioSilk that were really, really cool to send me to stick around my walls. And I'll show you a couple of other what I think's really affordable and easy options to help mitigate both of them. And then I'll show you a couple of wee things that I think's maybe essential just for kind of catching the vibe or getting things done a bit quickly. Diffusers, 1, they're really expensive. 2, a lot of people try and build them themselves and they don't really understand what they're trying to do, because people think that waves bounce in a straight line all the time, but essentially as they bounce away they actually create more like a sort of bubble formation. So that's where you'll see some of these really weird looking things at the back of a wall on a studio that look like essentially loads of bits of broken fence stuck in them. What I think is a really, really good option here, if you have a look, is essentially just a bookcase. This one is just an IKEA case, essentially. I think it was under £100 for the whole case. And what I've got inside it, a couple of wee spares that I like using for the studio, a bunch of guitar books that you can judge my musical tastes on when you have a look at them, loads of other stuff that's in my personal hobbies like martial arts and nonsense, a lot of authors are like, but really, really importantly, I've got a lot of the Viz annuals in there, which I think is essential to any self-respecting musician, writer / producer. You notice the books aren't all lined up in a nice straight line. They're staggered, and they're staggered on purpose. And a lot of the stuff that's placed in the shelves is all done in kind of a pseudo-messy fashion, if you like. And what that does, it stops sound waves directly reflecting straight back, so they kind of break up in there. Second, what you're looking at doing is getting rid of really shitty room ring. Room ring is an absolute ball ache for anybody trying to mix anything, for anybody trying to get decent vocal lines. I mean, sometimes if you give a really nice sounding room, it's nice to use the sound of that room, I suppose, but you tend to find either someone's got really, really lucky with the shape of the room, or it's a professional studio room that's been designed for the sound the way that it has. The space that you've got, if you're limited, like, every square inch has got to be really important. I know people that have used insulating panels, where they'd use like the fiberglass ones, and they realise that they're in here breathing all the time, so it's not going to be that great for them. What I kind of got really lucky with is the guys at AudioSilk. They do recycled plastic, I think, so it's environmentally friendly as well. But they do these panels that are really, really slim, and you can stick them up with contact strips, so you don't need to like screw holes in the walls. Initially I thought they were going to be a wee bit too good to be true, to be honest with you. But if you're looking at sort of, I would say, mid to high frequency, these things are absolutely amazing. If you see around here, I've went for a kind of bumblebee scheme because they do a lot of colours. So they sent me 4 black, 4 yellow / orange, and I have 2 white ones on the ceiling. One above where I'm going to be referencing music, and one above the main area where if I've got anyone else in singing, or if I'm going to do any singing myself. And those are, they kind of complement them as well. What I do have is I have an Aston reflection filter just to catch anything else that might be reflecting off any of the other surfaces. I've decided not to take the reflections off the wooden floor. A lot of people like that, but because this is quite a boxy room, I've left some of the floor blank, but I've essentially just went and bought a big massive rug essentially to stick on the floor. It doesn't cover the whole floor, which is kind of ideal, so you still got a little bit of room sound. So that deals with any other parallel surfaces. So like the rug will deal with reflections off the ceiling, albeit I do have a couple of clouds up there. If you see the way that the panels are laid around the wall. They're laid around the diffuser, around where I'm listening, and next to where there's going to be any vocal or guitar work done. I think they've done an absolutely amazing job, to be honest with you. So much so, I think I'm going to get some more, to be fair. One, just for another room for doing some stuff, and two, I can maybe do another one or two in here. What I've done in the meantime is you can cut these panels to shape, actually, funnily enough. I didn't even know that until I found it today on the internet. But you can cut them to shape so you can stick them on windows and doors and all sorts of stuff. What I've decided to do in the meantime is literally just use a blackout curtain. And for the doors, essentially just some like tape, stick up a couple of door hooks and just stick some jackets on it. Like the jackets will deal with these reflections pretty easily, and if you've already got jackets hanging around the house, it's not an extra expense. You should probably have a curtain on your window anyway, unless you're looking at getting yourself in bother. In bother. So what I will do, I'll do like a clap test. So after showing you around all this, I'm actually going to clap. It sounds like a bit of a cheat, but what I'm going to do is clap in the room next door, because I've hung all these up already. And to be fair, this sounded way more ringier than it did outside that door. So I'll clap outside the door, record it so you can hear what it sounds like, and I will clap inside here, and hopefully you should hear that there's basically no ring left in the room.
Right, go. I'll do it again. And go. Yeah, bitch.
And I'm not getting paid for this or anything. It's not a sponsored ad or anything. They've quite kindly offered me a discount code /link that gives you 15% off if you fancy trying them. If you fancy buying a pile of them, I'm sure the code or link will still give you that money off. There we go. So, I'm Mike Clerk, and I'm here. I'm not here. I'm here. I sound like I'm here, guys. Hey, guys.